Good morning, everyone. It's Labor Day weekend, which means it's time to go back to school. Boston students return to class this week, making it the perfect time to chat with the school's superintendent. She's here in the chair. It's time to go on the record.
From WCVB Channel 5, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Happy Labor Day, everyone. Fall is about to arrive. Hello and welcome to OTR. I'm Ed Harding.
I'm Sharmin Sikhetti. Joining us today is Boston Public School Superintendent Mary Skipper. She served in the role for 3 years, and she previously led the Somerville Public Schools and helped launch Tech Boston Academy. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. So I hate to, but we do need to start with the tragic news of another school shooting. As everyone knows, 2 children were killed while celebrating Mass at a Minnesota Catholic school. It was the first week of school for them. 17 people were wounded. As the superintendent of a major school system, the largest in New England, obviously, what do you tell parents in your district when something like this? Can you tell them anything when something like this happens?
Well, first, I just my prayers and my thoughts to the whole Minneapolis community, especially the parents, the educators, and the students. We've taken a lot of steps since I came in. We created an emergency management department to make sure that all of our principals and staff know when and if something were to happen, how to respond appropriately. But really, we have invested deeply in social and emotional supports for students, mental health supports for students, and put a big emphasis on making sure every student feels welcome and safe in the buildings. And this just becomes, every single time we hear about this, and it seems like it's in the news every day, I don't know where as a society when we'll be tired enough of the gun violence that our young people, whether they experience it directly.
That's the point. Sandy Hook, Parkland, we hear about it enough, too much.
That's right.
And it hasn't stopped yet.
That's right. And so we really do as a society need to look at that, and access to weapons and lack of mental health and supports for young people and for people that are older. That is really, as a society, when things will change. In the meantime, as a school superintendent, I have to take every means I can, as do my principals, to make sure that our schools are safe and the students are safe coming back and forth.
Are you fielding questions from parents at all in light of what happened out there in Minnesota?
So generally, our principals will address with parents at the start of school just all of the procedures and things that we put into place to ensure school safety. And I think our parents know that if and when something happens, we reach out right away. We use Parent Square as a communication tool, and we've found that open dialogue with parents, when parents come in for parent houses, being able to talk with them about all of the resources available for students, and that safety is our top priority, that's reassuring to them. But as a society, it is far from reassuring broadly when we continue to have access to guns of people that shouldn't have them, and lack of mental health supports.
Well, and in the particular case in Minnesota, the guns were purchased legally. So how do you stop that? You can't stop. They were purchased legally. Students, do students fear that, well, I know it happens someplace else, but am I going to get shot when I walk into school?
Oh, I think young people are taking this in constantly on social media, on the news, whether they've experienced it directly or whether they're seeing it secondary. And that's the reason why we've increased so much with the health and mental health supports. We have over 200 social workers within the school district that are constantly working with families and students to process trauma.
Situations like this is one of the reasons, one of the arguments in favor of keeping cell phones in classrooms. In Massachusetts, the Senate has passed a bill to ban cell phones in classrooms. It's not law yet. We haven't seen where the House stands on it. It would still need to pass in the House, but the governor has expressed some support. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, so first of all, this is an issue we've been working on for the last 3 years in Boston, and we've been doing it very organically with our schools, helping them to put in place a way to manage the cell phones in a healthy way, with the balance of understanding sometimes students have real responsibilities and need to get in touch with families, offering alternative ways to do that, at the same time as having students, families, and staff all bought into the plan at the local school. More than 40 of our schools have been doing this for the last several years. We support the legislation because we do believe that the cell phones are a distraction to students. We see that in our own data. We also have our Boston Student Advisory Council, who are students, Social Latina, which is an advocacy group in Boston with our young people, who themselves are advocating for restriction on the cell phone.
So explain how that would work then for people for students who may, in an emergency situation, want to have access to their cell phone. What does that look like?
Well, so we, frankly, sometimes the cell phone can be more of a danger to the student if they inadvertently, the phone rings and there were to be an active shooter in the building. We have our protocols for lockdown when something like that happens. We have walkie-talkies. We have other ways of communicating within the building.
But do the phones go into pouches?
They do. They go into pouches. Right now, that's what we've adopted, but not all schools. Some schools are also using something as creative as a shoe holder to be able to have the phones marked, and then they're put in there, and then the student retrieves them at the end of the day. So there's really multiple ways to go about it, but I can't emphasize enough that a policy only goes so far. You have to focus on the implementation. So getting the parents, the students, and the staff all bought in, let them air their concerns and then commit to it. That's actually what makes it successful, and that's what we're focused on.
Next item, an independent review of Boston's school bus system is now public, and it comes 4 months after 5-year-old from Hyde Park was hit and killed by a bus. According to officials, that driver's certification to operate a school bus had lapsed. The audit found that Transdev had poor record-keeping practices, especially as it pertains to driver's files, and BPS failed to maintain oversight and audit the company. So the child's family is now suing the bus operator, Transdev. What is your response to the report?
So the mayor and I actually commissioned the report as an independent investigation by Attorney Tidwell and her team, because we, as in charge of the city and the district, but also as parents and grandparents, we want to make sure that we're doing everything possible in our power to make our transportation system the safest possible. So we yesterday indicated we appreciate the findings, we agree with them, we think that they're clear, they're actionable, and we intend to implement them fully.
All of them?
All of them. I think that, since 2020, when there's a lot evolved with Transdev, and we have done a lot around the safety, the compliance, on-time percentage. If you recall, last time I was here, we were talking about the systemic improvement plan, and transportation was a big piece because our performance was so poor. So we've done an incredible job with those pieces. But what the report highlighted was that there's particular actions Transdev needs to take with its own record keeping and its safety training. And for us, it's around us having more stringent oversight and auditing, specifically around certification and safety measure. And so that's what we're committing to, and we will definitely take those recommendations. Many of them we've already begun and began after the tragic death of Lenz back on April 28th. That is an event that clearly has changed everything for me, for our team, for our city. And we owe it not just to the Joseph family, but to all families to make sure our transportation learns from what happened and corrects everything that we're capable to correct.
I want to ask you about federal funding when it comes to education. We've seen the Trump administration take aim at federal funding. Eventually, earlier this summer, the state did receive more than $100 million from the administration that had been previously withheld. Has Boston been impacted by some of the federal funding cuts coming out of the federal government?
Sure. So first, I'd just like to say that we are blessed to be in the city we're in and the state we're in, with our mayor in the city and with our governor, and particularly with our AG, because we just have tireless warriors that are going to protect the funding for children that we know we desperately need. So even with that, the amount of dollars was relatively small for us, fractionally from our whole budget. It was roughly about a percentile. But that said, every dollar matters to our students. And so we just really appreciate that we're in a city and a state where the officials recognize that.
A percentile?
So in other words, most of the money relative to the title dollars were targeted specifically around our English language learners. So it was a lot of our title dollars. And we've also seen it be attacked with our professional development for teachers as well, and our homeless students. So these were dollars that if they were to go away would have impacted us drastically. But they, compared to our whole budget, was about 1%, and we had already started to make contingency plans because those are services we cannot do without.
Mary Skipper's in the chair. We're on the record this morning. Stay with us.